What is going on, everybody? Good evening. Hope you all are doing very well this evening. We are going to let a few people come on in here, and I am psyched to talk to everybody this evening. I know that my buddy Adrian is in the chat. Adrian, how is my audio sounding, brother? Thank you for tuning in as always, buddy. I appreciate it. Let me know how my audio is. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Like I said, we'll wait for a few more people to come in here and hang out with us this evening. Perfect. Audio sounding good. Perfect. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you checking on that, bro. I wanted to say hello to everybody on Facebook as well. I believe I am tuned into Facebook as well right now. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It's good to see everybody here. Like I said, we're going to wait a few minutes till more people come in, and we'll start tonight's topic, you guys. I got a few topics that I'll actually touch on tonight, most of which has to do with walleye fishing. So in any event, like I said, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. So thank you. And again, thank you for all of you that are on Facebook right now. I appreciate it. Damian Vasquez, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for liking the video, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. All right. Like I said, we'll let a few more people get in here and we'll talk some walleye stuff this evening. So, to touch on the topics, you guys, we're right at the tail end of summer, so still a lot of chances to catch some really good walleye right now. Whether you're on the big lakes or the small ponds, you really can't miss it right now. Very good fishing opportunities to be had, especially if you like trolling crankbaits or trolling spinner baits for that matter as well. Now is an excellent time to catch some walleye. I've also, believe it or not, recently I've been taking my little kayak out to some of the smaller ponds, and for some reason, I don't have to troll at all. I've been getting them right along the shorelines on the Rapala crankbaits, so those have been working pretty well. And then, of course, as always, if you like live bait too, you can't go wrong with catching walleye on live bait. So again, thank you all for coming in here tonight. I appreciate it. As always, if you guys do want to participate in the chat, let me know. I just ask that we keep it classy. As always, if there's any disagreements, just keep it classy. Let's have a good time with this tonight. And we'll give it here another maybe 3 to 4 minutes to let more people roll in. I've had a few people tell me that they'll be in here a little bit late. And again, like I said, you guys, so we're going to touch on some walleye. We're going to touch on some fishing tournament scandals too that have happened with walleye as well. And guys, I got, like I said, Adrian's in here. And we got RJ and Mikey Scars in here as well. RJ, thank you for showing up tonight, brother. It's good to see you here, man. We'll have to catch up soon. Like I said, brother, thank you for always supporting my show. I appreciate it. Adrian, thank you as well, too, my brother, for always supporting my show. Adrian and RJ are two of my very best friends. They've been people who have supported me for a long time in whatever I've decided to do. And honestly, it's so valuable to have really good friends, you guys. It's you can't really put a price tag on it. So thank you all for helping me out. I really do appreciate you guys. And as always, thanks. So, like I said, we're going to give it here another few minutes. We're going to let some people come in. Also, too, guys, if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps me out quite a bit. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, too, my Instagram and my TikTok page link is in the chat. So, like I said, please feel free to hit me up on those platforms if you have not yet. And I always appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I also just want to let you guys know that I do have clips from my fishing trip over at Lake McConaughey up right now in my long form content. So feel free to check them out. I got 2 clips in there right now. There's going to be a bunch more coming here pretty soon. And I'm psyched to show you guys that. And again, like I said, tonight we'll be talking about some cheating scandals actually that have been going on the tournament circuit, believe it or not. I'm sure some of you know that in Cleveland, out in Ohio here, I believe it was like close to a year ago now, those guys got caught in that fishing tournament, stuffing baits and weights, I should say, in the walleye to make the walleye bigger on the scale, but come to find out they had been cheating for years and they got caught. And needless to say, they got sentenced in court. I don't know if it was a appropriate punishment, but I guess that is not for me to decide. Again, guys, thank you for everybody who's going to tune in tonight on Facebook. I know I got a couple of people who are tuning in through Facebook. So, and then of course, RJ, like I said, brother, good to see you again, man. It's always good to see you on here. I appreciate you being here, man. And it's always good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you here. All right. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes of it, and then I will do a recap here midway through the chat once more people get in. So this way, the people that are here, I can get to the point and make good use of your time. So my recent fishing trip at Lake McConaughey, you guys, it was absolutely fantastic. I had a blast. It was great. If you guys have a chance, check out John Boy Guide Service. I went through him because Lake McConaughey is way too big of a lake for me to bring my kayak on, especially if it's like a super windy day. Man, it can get messy super quickly. So we had a blast out there trolling in the stick fields with crankbaits. Man, it was a blast. There's not much that's more fun than that, catching those big Lake McConaughey walleye. And I'm very excited for you guys to see those clips again. They are in my long form content. So I caught quite a few big ones that day, some good sized ones. One thing about Lake McConaughey is that there's not really much in the way of small ones in Lake McConaughey. They're all very sizable fish. Damn good time. So, but like I said, let's get to the not so good stuff, and then we'll save the best for last, we'll say. So apparently there is a lot of cheating going on, more than I think people realized in walleye fishing tournaments. Several months back, a couple of guys out in Ohio got caught in a big cheating scandal to where they had been cheating for years, allegedly, and they got caught one day when they were weighing in the fish. The guy that was directing the tournament found weights in the fish. It went viral. It was all over YouTube. And unfortunately, my opinion, it was a very horrible look for the fishing community. And my thing is that down the road, I honestly think that that's going to discourage people from entering in walleye tournaments. And I really hope that I hope it doesn't discourage too many people, but it's sad that it happened. Gardino Inc., good to see you as always. Guy has supported me for a long time. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. People are stuffing weights in fish, my man. Yeah, and in fact, there was another situation in upstate New York that I'm going to tell you guys about that was similar to the situation in Ohio, where they basically found items that people were stuffing in fish, and the jury's still out on what's going to happen with those guys. But I guess that my thing is that I just don't want to see this impact people who are prospective tournament people. So people who want to get into tournaments, I don't want to see this discourage people. I believe most fishermen do play by the rules, but like anything in life, there's definitely some bad apples out there. And there's not really much that you can do about that other than spread content like this that speaks out against that. So I believe that a good, healthy dialogue about this stuff is actually what's going to stop people from doing this, because we'll get really, hopefully down the road, and I just, kind of lost my train of thought there, but hopefully with some dialogue and some open discussion from fishermen following the rules, hopefully that will hold these guys more accountable, and we'll be able to get guys who play by the rules into these tournaments. Adrian, my plans for my videos. So what's going to happen is I'm still trying to figure out the video editing aspect of this. I did have some technical difficulties the other night. I tried to turn my Lake McConaughey trip into a full-length fishing video, but for now, I'm going to post clips on it. I'm going to post 6 clips here over the next few weeks. All of them have really big walleye in them, so you guys will enjoy that. And then, like I said, I am going to have more podcast guests on the channel coming up pretty soon. I've sent out a bunch of emails this week, so I'll get some responses from people. Some of them are pretty big names, you guys. So if I can get those on there, definitely stay tuned. There's going to be some serious discussions here on Fishing Channel. So that's something I'm very excited for. I've done podcast interviews before on previous channels I've had. Something I really enjoy doing. RJ, Colby, I don't know about fishing. If I want to start, what should I start with? Equipment. What are some to-dos? So RJ, it really all depends on what you're looking for as far as like what type of fish species that you're looking for. But what I would do is to get started, I know bass are very common pretty much all over the country. Bass fishing is always good to get started with, and you can do it on live bait. You can do it on spinner baits or any type of lures that you can find. But really, if you're a beginner, I would pick up just a spinning rod, medium action. Get yourself maybe half a dozen lures, see which ones you like, and fish with live bait. You really can't go wrong with that. And really, the thing with starting is that you're starting. So basically, you really have to get an idea of what you like after a while. So once you've fished for a little while, you can definitely identify which species of fish that you like, which type of bait goes good with which fish. It's a learning curve, but I hope that helps. Honestly, RJ, you can pick up a really good spinning rod for $50. I'm sure, whether that's at Walmart or whether that's on Craigslist or wherever else you can find it. And I'm sure there's some even cheaper than that. So I appreciate that question, bro. Thank you so much. So, kind of going back to what I was saying, you guys, it seems to me that with these fishing tournament scandals that, it sort of reminds me of the baseball scandal back in the day with cheating, when Barry Bonds broke those home run records, and Rafael Palmeiro and Alex Rodriguez and all those guys that were supposedly doing steroids back then. It was a big black eye on the sport of baseball. And I really feel like recently what's happened is that this is a black eye on the fishing community. And frankly, when it makes publicity like it does, I mean, you figure, you guys, the people who were caught in Ohio for cheating, that went viral across YouTube. It went viral across pretty much all social media platforms, including, I believe, some mainstream media platforms. So I really hope those guys learned their lesson. I don't condone what they do. And like I said, I just hope it doesn't discourage other people from entering in tournaments, because I really do believe that there is a lot of good people out there who get into fishing, who just enjoy the sport, who want to play the right way. And that's all that matters, is those people, the people who are out there being ethical in how they fish tournaments. So definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on down the road. I am going to be planning on interviewing somebody who does fish walleye tournaments, who is going to kind of give me some insight as to how people cheat, how they do it, and how people can get away with it for so long. Because these guys in Ohio, I don't think they could prove how far back that these guys were cheating, but they were winning consistently, and there were rumors going around for a long time, and that's just kind of where it ended up happening. And so I'm waiting for more information on this New York ordeal that ended up happening. And, in all honesty, we'll see what happens with that. And Adrian, to answer your question, bro, yes, the people in Ohio did get in legal trouble for it. They got, I believe it was a small jail sentence, and I believe they had to forfeit like their boats and stuff like that. But, to be honest with you, man, I think that, the judge kind of took it easy on those guys. I think it was the type of thing where they probably hadn't seen a fishing scandal like this before, because, man, it's rare that this type of thing makes, national attention like it did. So, yeah, man, they did. These guys that are in New York, I'm not exactly sure if those guys will be facing criminal prosecution or not. But yeah, man, like I said, hopefully by continuing these dialogues, hopefully we can somehow stop this from happening, especially people that are involved in the fishing community. So appreciate the comment. Gardino Inc. I found that father and son duo out of Las Vegas interesting. They fished Lake Mead at first, and then started reporting on the water level dropping due to the drought. So is it still pretty dry out west there, Gardino? Because God, I heard that like Lake Mead levels were like at catastrophic conditions. So that's interesting. And you also mentioned, I wonder how and when they put weights in sleight of hand. Yeah, man. In all honesty, these guys must have been extremely clever. That's how I see it because I mean, man, they were winning tournaments left and right. Like it wasn't even close. They were they were just winning tournaments left and right. And I mean, you really don't want to think the worst of people if they're winning. Like you don't want to assume everybody that's winning that is cheating. But you know what? At the same time, if it's a substantial advantage over everybody else, and they're doing like way drastically better than everybody else, then man, I don't know. That's definitely concerning. So, very very good question there, my friend. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And then I think you answered my question. It raised a little, but came very close to zero pool. Yeah, man. So what's happened is too is that a lot of the rivers, from what I've heard, in the western states are at historical lows, or they were at the time of those droughts, and that's definitely going to negatively impact fishing. And people who also like hunting too, like duck and geese hunting. Um, you know, that's going to impact them too. So the drought has really impacted the outdoor industry in so many ways. And I mean, just driving out in the western states here, so like Nebraska, Wyoming, and even to like a lesser extent, Colorado and South Dakota. I mean, you can tell that things are just not normal out there. That the weather's just been horrendous. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Adrian, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. All right, so I figure this will be a good segue into the next topic here, you guys. So, Adrian mentioned my videos. So, what's going to happen is, like I said, I am going to have a lot of podcast style interviews. I'm going to post a lot of clips of me catching fish. And then hopefully over time, once I find a video editor or I can learn more about video editing myself, I would like to put more full length fishing trips up there. And, even if you guys want to comment in the chat, do you guys want to see more fishing clips or do you guys want to see more educational videos? Because I am down for doing either one. I have a lot of fishing education and knowledge, but obviously I know people like seeing big fish get caught. So that's why that if you guys like, I have plenty of that on my Instagram page. I have plenty of that in my YouTube shorts and on my TikTok page for that matter. So feel free to check that out. So, but I want to give some walleye fishing tips actually for the upcoming seasons that are happening. So something that's very interesting about walleye, you guys, is walleye are very good nighttime biters. And not a lot of people know that. So kind of a very interesting comparison that I like to do is I like to say that walleye sort of remind me of brown trout in a way, weirdly enough, because brown trout are very active night biters, and so are walleye. So, during the day with walleye, obviously, probably the most common tactic that you'll see people using, whether if it's at Lake Erie, whether if it's at Lake McConaughey, Lake Oahe, or even if it's in some of the smaller lakes, you guys. Trolling crankbaits for walleye is a pretty tough gig to beat. It's often pretty much one of the best tactics, especially if you can get close to structure. There's not much that can beat that. But if you don't really have a boat or anything like that, or you don't have access to a guide, you can always fish live bait. Live bait works very, very well. And if you go early enough in the morning, I've had times where the walleye will bite shallow on live bait, but obviously make sure that you can use live bait where you're fishing so you don't break any laws, because there are some lakes and ponds out there that are lures only. So just be sure that you have your ducks in a row as far as that goes. So yeah, please make sure of that. And then something that I love that's really underrated that I believe was created at Lake McConaughey here in Nebraska was trolling spinner baits. Honestly, you guys, I had never heard of it up until a couple years ago, but if you can find good stick piles or good stick fields, so sunken stick fields, like those seem to be where the best walleye lakes are the lakes that have cover like that. If they're deep enough into those stick piles and you troll those stick piles like up and down and back and forth, and those spinner baits are bouncing through the trees, honestly, you guys, it's one of the best walleye tactics that I've ever seen. And honestly, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And it's fast action. It's just absolutely fantastic. So that's one tactic that I think you guys should try out. And another thing that I would say too is at nighttime, and even in the springtime, like I said, you really can't go wrong with plugs and crankbaits. You are just going to blast them left and right if you're in the right area at the right time. Now, as far as the fall walleye fishing goes, what I like to do is I like to jig, especially if the water gets colder. So once the water gets cold, what I like to do personally is I like to take those Rapala ice fishing jigs, and I just find out where the fish are on the fish finder if I'm using a fish finder, and I just like to jig right off the bottom. So I do a jig, 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 let it sink and bounce off the bottom, jig, jig, jigs, bounce off the bottom. And I'm telling you, it's really one of the best walleye tactics once that water cools down, once the fall season starts to happen. And of course, if you guys want any more walleye fishing trips, definitely private message me. I'm always down to give people tips and tricks on that. And, I'm not just going to talk about walleye on this channel. There's plenty of other fish species that I like to catch. You guys will see that over time. So appreciate that. And my fiance's in the chat. Hey, babe, how you doing? Good to see you here. Guys, a little secret. My fiance is actually really good at fishing. She actually caught one of the biggest bluegill I've actually ever seen in my life. So that was actually really cool. So, and she caught it pretty unexpectedly. So that was super cool. Gardino, I ran into the coolest fishing game warden. Oh, sweet. You know what? Honestly, game wardens are kind of interesting. They've never really, I guess, given me too much trouble. And in fact, one thing that is interesting, a fun fact, I don't know if you guys watch Northwoods Law. My buddy Harry Wiegman, who used to be one of my very good fishing buddies, he ended up, I ended up moving to a different state, and then he and I just lost touch. It was nothing personal. He's on Northwoods Law. He's a well-known game warden up in the East Coast. And I'm actually thinking about reaching out to him to have him on my channel here pretty soon. I still know people who keep in contact with him, so I might actually have him on my channel soon. And that would be a hell of a good interview. If you guys haven't watched it yet, Northwoods Law is actually a good show. It focuses on game wardens and what they do. And I'll be honest with you, Gardino, my brother and I actually were fishing up on the East Coast here this winter, and we did have a game warden approach us. He really didn't give us any trouble, but then again, my brother and I were very forthcoming. We just had our fishing licenses out, and we just we showed it to him. We didn't really say much because there really wasn't much to say. We were just out fishing. We weren't doing anything wrong. So he just kind of left us alone. But one thing that I will say, though, is that the game wardens in some counties in this country are very understaffed. You actually have places where they have only one game warden who's in charge of several different counties. And what's interesting is, so deer poaching is actually a big thing. I know I'm switching gears here a little bit, but that was a big issue in the Midwest for many states, and people were, filming it happening and stuff and catching people in the act. But, the game wardens were nowhere to be found because they can't be every place at once. So, some of them, and don't get me wrong, some of those guys can be jerks. I've definitely heard of, situations where they're kind of lax and they don't really care if somebody reports something, but you got bad apples in every industry. So, but one thing I would recommend to all you guys, if any of you guys are new to fishing here in the chat, always, 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 and I mean always, if I have to say this to you all a million times, always make damn sure that you read the state law books for fishing. You can get them free at Walmart. They don't care if you don't know the law or not. Okay, they're going to give you a ticket if you're breaking the law. So you're better off reading the law books in whatever states that you're in and understanding what those laws are. Okay, there's no excuses, you guys. They're free. Those law books are free. Do not give them a reason to give you a damn ticket. Whatever you do, those law books are free. Keep it to that and make damn sure that you understand the laws. It's not hard, you guys. Just make sure that you do that. So, but my rant is over on that. Gardino, what's very interesting about that is that they always seem to need help. And as I just mentioned, some of these guys are, understaffed where they are. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, man, that was probably good advice that you gave to your stepson. So, all right, guys. So for those of you that are new to the chat now, let's hit the like button on here to get this out to people. I'm probably going to repeat the same stuff for those people that are actually just coming into the chat from earlier. I appreciate all you guys being here tonight. For those of you that have tuned in, this is actually my first live on this channel, believe it or not. I have not yet done a live on this channel, but I wanted to get to know my subscribers a little bit, wanted to engage with everybody and thank everybody for supporting my channel. And again, I really greatly appreciate all the support. And so, like I said, we'll stay online here for about another 5 to 10 minutes. Like I said, hit that like button, invite people, and invite your friends to come on over and participate in this chat. Like I said, I'll probably do this for another few minutes here. And again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Thank you for the support. If you're new here, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. And make sure that you subscribe to this channel and feel free to share my videos, you guys. Anything helps. I sincerely appreciate everybody that supports my channel. I never take the support for granted. If anything, I would not be anything without the people who follow me. So thank you guys so much for your support. And thank you for everybody who's watching on Facebook. I can't really see the Facebook chat on my end, but I will definitely reply to everything when the live is done. Thank you for tuning in to everybody on Facebook and everybody on YouTube. So Aja brought up a good point here. The guide service that I used when I went to Lake McConaughey. So you guys, I had hired a guide because like I said, I have a small kayak, and on that lake, that's a massive lake. On windy days, there's no fishing if you're in a little foldable kayak like I have. And that's way too big of a lake, in my opinion, to use a kayak. So I just kind of hired a guide. It was John Boy Guide Service, you guys. He's out of Lake McConaughey. His name is Justin. If you're ever in that area, please hit him up. Tell him that I sent you. He's a great guy, very knowledgeable walleye fisherman, and I believe he even fishes tournaments. I might have him on actually at some point. I got along with the guy really well. So Justin, if you're watching, shout out to you, man, and thank you for the great experience you gave me out there. So, all right, for those of you new here, just to recap, earlier I was talking about the cheating scandals that are going on the tournament circuit right now, and what's interesting is, so it happened in Ohio. The guys were supposedly cheating for a really long time. They finally got caught. They got prosecuted in court. It was just a bad situation, just a bad situation. And then in upstate New York recently, there was other guys too who got caught cheating as well. And, like I mentioned, you guys, it kind of reminded me of the steroid scandal back in the day for baseball. And that gave baseball a bad name. And I feel like this stuff that's going on now with these fishermen cheating in these walleye tournaments, it's giving the sport of fishing a bad name. And I feel like we need to start having dialogue as far as that goes. We need to start having chats about what we can do to prevent stuff like this. And then just to recap too, like I said, for all you guys out there that are looking to fish for walleye this summer, it's still late summer, so you really can't go wrong with trolling spinnerbaits or trolling crankbaits in the sticks. You really can't go wrong with that. And of course, if you're looking to get them at night, they usually come in close to shore. You can get them on plugs and crankbaits. really good time for it. Don't miss the fall walleye fishing season. And what I'm going to do, everybody, is I'm going to wrap it up there. I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I'm going to start doing more lives like this. It was good hearing everybody's take on things tonight. Again, if you're new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you hit the like button on this video. And again, I do not take the support for granted. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I really appreciate, all the good comments that you guys leave. And as always, you guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.